Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Maui and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Maui's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar. That is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You will be introduced to Maui's training equipment and taught how to use that properly tomorrow during your follow-up training session. Now she's sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for us is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Maui heel.
Maui heel.
Now at this point, Maui has a job to do, and that is to remain even with your left legs during walks. She should not be dragging or pulling. She should be walking nicely like a lady. She should be paying attention to you. And when you stop your feet, she's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So when you're walking down the street and you stop to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she should be sitting quietly at your left and waiting for her next command. And you see she's got a lot of pep in her step. She enjoys doing her obedience training. Nice automatic sit. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit stay.
Stay.
Now the stay helps to develop self-control and maturity. So practice indoors as well as outdoors. You just saw her get up and you saw exactly what to do. You pull straight up on the leash and tell her no, sit, stay. You're going to work up a little bit at a time to 3 minutes. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, and she's been taught to remain seated until he gets back to her shoulders. He stops there, and then he's going to give her another command. And he tells her to heel again. And she's a toughie. She is not an easy dog. She will go out of her way to make it difficult for you in all areas. So you have to be tougher than Maui. She is not a pocketbook dog between her ears. She is a big dog.
Stay.
Rich leaves her in a sit stay. And this time, you're going to start out at 30 seconds, which I didn't say. And you're going to work up to 3 minutes, and you can practice indoors as well as outdoors. This time, Rich calls her in. She comes in, and she sits right in front of him, facing his knees. So no more jumping all over to get attention. She gets attention by being a good girl. And you can see that she enjoys doing it, that this is not hard for her. Her hardest thing is trying to outthink you. Rich is going to leave her in another sit stay. Now if she attempts to lay down or do anything other than sit, he tells her no. He takes a step forward, walks her out of it, has her sit, and he's going to demonstrate the come on command again. Right in and sat. That was beautifully done. Back to heel and back sitting. Good girl. Now the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are your down commands. And these are Maui's favorite. This is Maui's favorite thing to do when she's not being told to do it. The first down command that we're going to demonstrate is the down from a heel position. So always have her seated first. You take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay when you're practicing at home, start out at 1 minute and work up to 5 minutes. It's going to take you a couple months, but you will get there. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, just as he did on the sit stay, returning back to heel. He stops there, he praises her for a good job, and they take off heeling again. So remember, seated first, left open palm, straight down toward the ground, the one-word command to down and stay. And these stationary exercises you can practice right in your living room. You can practice as often for as long as you want. It's good for her. This time Rich will call her out of that down. Good girl. That's really good come command. Back to heel and back sitting. Good job. And the very last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the most difficult, and that is your down from a distance. This is because you're not right next to the dog, and they know it. So you're going to leave her in a sit stay. You're going to turn to face her. You're not going to go too far away to start with. She went right down and stayed. And she doesn't have far to go to lay down when she's already sitting, so it's not as difficult as you would think. Now, we have demonstrated for you all of Maui's formal obedience commands. We have a lot of things to go over with you tomorrow when you come, and you're going to get a lesson with your trainer so that you learn how to get her to do all of these things. She's been challenging, but we've enjoyed having her, and she looks great, and she's enjoying her new do. And we will see you tomorrow.